Hello, this is Dr. Bartosh of Proactive Wellness and Injury Center, and this is the second segment regarding our discussion pertaining to breast cancer and some things that contribute to it. Now, as we get into this, I want you to understand that this is not an exhaustive list. However, these are some of the things that we can consider major players. Now, every time you can identify yourself with one or two of these things, understand that your potential for developing estrogen-fed breast cancer is going to be increased quite a bit. So, in our list here, we have phthalates, we have parabens, meats, and antibiotics. And I'm going to cover these here in a little bit. The phthalates and the parabens, those are chemicals that we get through the foods that we eat and the containers in which contain our food. The phthalates and the parabens are estrogen-mimicking types of chemicals. That means that when they get into the body, they act like the hormone estrogen. And it's interesting that we find that estrogen actually feeds cancer. It causes it to grow. And quite a few years ago, quite by accident, when the scientists were studying the cancer cells, they happened to put them in these plastic petri dishes. I'm sure you've seen them before. And what they discovered, quite by accident, was that the chemicals that were leaching out of the plastic petri dishes were actually causing the cancer cells to grow. So that's how we discovered that. But these chemicals are found in your plastic water bottles, your juice bottles, your exercise drinks bottles. They can be found in the plastic wrap that surrounds your foods. They can be emitted when you take a plastic bowl and you put your food in it and then you cook it in a microwave or heat it in a microwave. You have to understand, folks, that for every action there's opposite and equal reactions. So a lot of these chemicals are getting into your system without you even knowing it. Another contributor also is the meats that you eat. You know, a lot of people don't realize that before many of these animals go to slaughter, these companies will go ahead and feed these animals, or they'll put estrogen in the feed for these animals, because when they ingest the estrogen, what the estrogen does is it will cause the animal to increase its water intake, and it will hold on to that water. It will increase its water weight. So therefore, when they do go to slaughter, of course, that animal weighing more now gets more money for that company. And the last thing are antibiotics. Not the last thing, but the last thing in this list are antibiotics. You know, antibiotics in this country are doled out just like we do candy. And what people don't realize is that these antibiotics kill off the good bacteria that are in the bowels, the lactobacillus. And that's a general nomenclature for literally thousands of types, if not millions of types of bacteria in the body. However, when those are destroyed, it suppresses the immune system and it opens the door now. The body's defense mechanism has been reduced. It opens the door now for these cancer cells to just go over and take over. And you see these who are apparently healthy on the outside, these young women that are finding out that they're being diagnosed with breast cancer. So folks, look at this list. If you see yourself, if you can see any of these things in your life, then your potential for breast cancer has certainly been upped. So this is the first in our series. We'll look forward to seeing you on the next installment. Until then, God bless.